I've spent the last 10 days reading the Shonen Jump app trying to catch up on everything. And I started off with some of the new series like Sakamoto Days, The Elusive Samurai, Niru, Way of the Martial Artist. And one that really surprised me is Witch Watch. It's a comedy series created by Kenta Shinohara, who I only just found out is the creator of Sket Dance. And I remember vividly laughing pretty often to the anime, so there's no wonder that I'm enjoying this one. It tells the story of childhood friends, Nico and Morihito, who are reunited when Nico finishes her witch training and now looking for a familiar to pair up with. Traditionally, witches tend to use owls and frogs, but Nico decides to go for Mori himself because he is actually an ogre. Ogres have evolved so much that they have lost their horns, but they still maintain all of their strength, so Mori kind of just looks like a normal human. He's pretty blunt with a lot of his comments and not really one to be making friends, but he's always happy to help out when needed. Nico is super energetic and always looking for an excuse to use her magic for the good of everyone, which can be a positive, but as you can imagine, being a comedy series, it doesn't always work out that way. We simply follow their daily life at school and at home, with the first few chapters being episodic and mainly involving Nico using her magic to help students at school or to help in certain situations. And it can end in a few ways. Sometimes the students end up having a great time and the magic goes well, sometimes they're flying around like Goku, and other times it puts Nico and Mori in a strange situation, like making the shopping really light and easy to carry, but there's an after effect where it becomes really heavy. I'm a huge fan of overly expressive facial expressions. That's normally the point when I see them that it just breaks me and I can't help but laugh. There's also a few chapters where they focus on secondary characters, giving them more of a spotlight. This might not necessarily be the best option for a new series because ideally you want to focus on the main cast, but either way, I enjoyed them. We also had our first story arc and it involved a warlock that was trying to kidnap Nico. This lasted around 7 chapters and even had a few twists towards the end. And it came at the perfect time because I felt like it was becoming quite samey with the gags and there's only so much you can do with magic, and especially with the chapters being episodic. It was not necessarily getting boring, but I could see there was an end to the amount of gags that they could do. It kind of reminded me of Katekyo Hitman Reborn, where it started off as a gag manga and now we've kind of evolved into an action series. Although there wasn't too much action in these last 7 chapters, but they were still pretty good. Witch Watch also holds the romance tag. We hear Nico monologue quite often and she's pretty open about her crush towards Mori. Though at the moment she's not pursuing it and she's quite happy how things are between them. I'm not really one for girls who gush too much over their love interests. I don't mind it, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming and overbearing, and I think this is kind of the perfect amount. And last thing I want to mention is the fan service. It doesn't happen too often, but as you can tell from these 2 panels, it is rather tame in comparison to ecchi manga. Anything more revealing than this might ruin Nico's character. I think the side characters are really interesting. The chemistry between them and the main characters is really funny. And other than that, I think there's not really a plot per se. Like I said, everything's kind of episodic. Everything's kind of just flowing as it is. The only real, I guess there's not really a plot, but just Nico is just always using her magic whenever she can. That's really it. There's not really much else to it. Volume 2 has sold 17,000 copies in its first 3 days of release, which is pretty good for 3 days. So hopefully it will continue on the rise. I've mentioned before that I haven't really read a lot of romance, so I can't really compare it to anything, but it's given me a good laugh. I think it's only 28 chapters, so I would suggest reading it. If you don't laugh within the first couple of chapters, then it's most likely not really one for you. Hopefully it continues and, you know, we get some more story arcs and some more characters involved, and yeah, hopefully the magic can be expanded upon. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to get back to trying to catch up on the rest of the Shonen Jump series. I think I'm currently reading Dr. Stone, trying to get on top of that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you next time.